Alright folks, welcome to another episode of the Star Citizen Report. And since I had a little problem with the introduction on the last one, I want to be able to hit everybody here with what I didn't get before. I'm Thamin, one of your hosts. Next to me over here, Grievance Council President and the guy who started hosting this with me, Memo.
Evening, folks.
Alright. And I'm going to go down to the other corner here, the guy that joined me when everyone else was kind of taking the break Christmas weekend and joined me for my most popular cast, got 6,000 views, Woopnyo.
Hey everybody.
Right. And right under me here, the man whose armada could destroy all three of your other hosts combined, Arleeya. Alright. Now, some of our big news, of course we got a lot of dogfighting module news, that's coming up. But one of the other big announcements that they've enabled now is the multi-organizational memberships. Oh, I should step back and actually explain a couple things, because I do have a couple things I'm showing on the broadcast here that we didn't have about Operation Supply Drop.
Grievance is partnering with Rise Up Gaming, and we're raising money for Operation Supply Drop this month. Is to help get games to our troops overseas. So if you have a chance, and if you don't have a chance, take the time and please donate to this. Basically, we're getting games, consoles, computers, and whatnot to our troops to try and make their situation overseas as normal as possible. Great thing to do. I have donated both years we've been involved with it, and I urge you to do the same.
Things I like about this organization, we do get into a lot of gamers for charitable causes. Alright. We're going to talk about organizations, and Arleeya, yeah, I saw you must have made a little change to our own Grievance site as a new picture popped up. Somebody's spaceship parked in the parking lot right there.
Every couple of weeks, try to change up the picture.
Where'd you get that one?
I have no idea.
Nice. Very nice.
There you go. Gosh. We want one of those. Interesting parking lot, though. Alright, so some of the biggest news this week that's outside of the dogfighting module is the multi-organizational memberships now available. And the way they've had that, you can join a main guild and up to 9 affiliates. Your main is the one that'll display with your form info and profile overview. You can only have a role with the main organization you join. Affiliates, you don't have a role. Under your personal account settings, you can choose which is the main, which are affiliates. You can select none of them to be your main and all of them affiliates. And it does say too that you can change your visibility within an organization too. And I kind of wonder about the. I mean, you listen to it, I think it actually kind of promotes some of the ones that might spy on the other organizations.
Exactly. It looks like it's going to leave it wide open for espionage, information gathering. I mean, it's worth mentioning that Grievance will be exclusive. You know, if you have joined other affiliates, you know, Grievance will not have you at a high rung with them. Isn't that correct, Arleeya? Arleeya?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm having a little trouble with the things going back and forth. Sorry.
So Grievance will be exclusive, correct?
Yes. Grievance is exclusive guild organization, and pilots that do come in can assist with us and fly with us as we do so. Those that are within Grievance will, of course, be a little bit more exclusive.
Yeah. And that was a thing too. An organization can call itself exclusive, so members can only be a part of that organization. But the game Robert Space Industries, they leaves it up to the individual guilds to police that. They won't prohibit a person from joining another organization.
Which will be interesting in and of itself from a spying espionage. I mean, what are we going to have tools where we can police that, or is it completely up to us? And how do you know if someone's hidden in another organization?
It shows up.
It does say. Oh yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it does show up in the roster. It shows visible, viable, and it also shows that if you click on their organization, like for us, for grievance, it'll just show grievance. And if they're in a different organization and they're part of us, below it, it will be in the organizations that they're in.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so they've said too that you can also choose to be redacted, which means when folks see you, they see redacted, they know you're part of an organization, doesn't say what. Organizational members see a redacted member, but only the officers can actually see who that is. And that kind of goes as well with hidden.
Yep. Very interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think, Whoop?
I think the hidden part is pretty cool because, like you say, in espionage and piracy and things like that. But I would like to open it up to more, more have grievances the corporation and then have other affiliates that we, run along with, and have some people do our dirty work, which is not exactly grievance, and have some people who are like the thug squad who go out and destroy all the bad people for us, something like that.
Plausible deniability.
Right, exactly.
We didn't have a hand in that. That was so-and-so's guild. We didn't pay them to do that.
I was in disguise.
And it also does say organizations will have activity scores, which can be influenced more by their public members than their private ones. So that means the guild must get either a leveling. They didn't really say what activity scores is, so it kind of makes you wonder: is it like a leveling or a faction thing?
Well, Arleeya doesn't already have it on the webpage.
Yes, it does. It shows we change every week when someone logs in at present, like 2 days, 3 days, or if someone hasn't logged in 3 months, it tells us that they're there and it shows activity. Once the arena commander comes out, all of our participation, our flying, that will then go on to there to show how active we are. And once the persistent universe and everything else, that is where it's going to show up.
Okay. So part of it's also just being kind of an out there, almost like a popularity thing. I kind of wonder if it had like some in-game stuff.
If I was the developers, I would do that. I would give to higher guilds, higher corporations or whatever. If they were more active, they would get more chances into the betas, more use in the arenas. You ask them what they think more about your game. You get more bonuses, I would think.
Yeah. All right. I was going to move on another one, and this is just kind of a quick update. There was a hangar update that they said was mostly support and bug fixes. I checked. I still stubbed my toe inside the Freelancer. They haven't fixed the lights yet, but they did fix the guns on the Hornet. If you back before 42 million, you will now see the UEE or Observus towels hanging up. So. And there's also, for folks that are development subscriber, an interactive calendar in their hangars, which sounds like you can also gift to others.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. And they've also updated the ship stats page, so you want to check that out. I glanced at mine, but what if there's been any whatever little changes, tweaks, you probably just want to go on and check your own ship and see it. They didn't really list specifically what they did.
They added more ships to it. Did you see the scavenger? Did you see the scavenger?
No,
I did not see the scavenger.
It's all the way to the right, man.
Really? I gotta go check that out. Thamin, no picture of the scavenger? What's going on here, man?
I didn't. Hey, I'm the man. I need the
You
info.
are.
I don't think there was a picture that was posted for it. There's a bunch of question marks next to it, but they do have the ship's names and what they're used for and some stats about it.
Nice. I have not got to that. I will be going there directly.
Slacker.
Yeah.
All right. So I have to check that out too. So also some of the big notes. Now we're going to get to the dogfighting module and the progress everybody's had. Most of my notes are from last week, with except the pertinent stuff that we need. Because this week they didn't say a whole lot, but the important stuff, the date we have. So, and that is going to be May 29th. That's when they're going to start rolling it out.
It's ballsy.
Very
Yes.
ambitious.
And on a weekend that I work too many hours.
I'll be out of town, so I feel your pain there. I will not. I don't think my laptop will handle it.
It's also 2 days after Watch Dogs comes out. Oof.
Could be tough, Whoop.
What do I do? What do I do?
Now they have said they're going to release it in stages because they've got to scale it up to like 250,000 plus players. So they're like, it's like launching a finished game, and it's not like you're launching a pre-alpha. Everybody will have Vanduul Swarm available, so your single player against hordes of AI. As far as the multiplayer portion of the dogfighter, the order you get in is going to be based on your Star Citizen number. If you backed earlier, you're going to get in earlier.
Well, I'd be the first one in then. What's going on here?
Are you one?
No, but I'd be in before you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, remember they said one was technically the test or the company. So
Yeah.
even Chris Roberts isn't number one.
Yes, he is.
I'll be.
They made him number one.
They did. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be back on what this is the 29th. I'll be back on the 30th, so maybe my number won't even come up till the 30th.
Yeah.
Because I came in at veteran status.
All right, but at least for folks that are still waiting, you'll have the Vanduul Swarm, have your bug reports ready to go. That's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it'll be interesting to see how smooth this is with them taking their time with it. I know a lot of people are expecting quite a bit. What do you think, Whoop?
Yeah, I just want to blow shit up. I mean, we're going to be crashing into each other, hitting stuff. I'm going to go right into the swarm mode so that way I can learn how to fly and probably die in the first wave and everything.
Collision's part of my strategy, and I'm sticking with that story.
Yeah, and like you say, they expect some bugs. They expect to slowly do it. So some folks might have
Absolutely.
a lot of time in the swarm mode. So he said, we fully expect there'll be bugs remaining, potentially some bad ones, but they do want to make sure that they get that out to the community, and we start helping find those bugs with them. Okay, so prior to them making that announcement, when they did the last week's stuff, I thought the most interesting news came out of the Santa Monica office. They shared some details on how the power grid of the ship and how a pilot can set some of that stuff. They said that you can put different settings or priorities in place, so like you'll either maximize your firepower, but it might draw down on the shields and the thrusters, or you might end up reducing your rate of fire or power to maintain the efficiency on the thrusters and the shields. But it sounds like the pilot can prioritize what you want, what your style is.
I don't think that's anything new. That we've been doing that in multiple games. I mean, even faster than Light has it.
Well, they still mentioned too, like things like even within the system, because they talked about that before. Like if you're got a power shortage and you're trying to fire weapons, you can set priority on individual weapons so that if you don't have enough power, you're still choosing which weapons you want to make sure are firing, if nothing else. So I thought that was a nice little touch. Hopefully it's easy to learn when you try to get into it. Oh.
You can also set your turn as you turn.
Yep. Yep, and in fact I've got the video on that there. It's the how the IFCS reacts to turns, because at first they were doing like it's high speed, they were showing like a jet fighter would do, but the turning is limited with the G-forces, or they said you could kind of turn the IFCS off, and when you go into a turn it's like you're drifting. The ship will, if you're turning left, the ship's going to shoot left, but your momentum is still going to be like heading off to the right for a bit. Kind of dangerous in the asteroid field, but I can show you the video and they kind of show you how cool the turning is with it off, and you can kind of see that.
Which style you guys gonna use?
I can imagine I might be drifting a lot with how cool it is. Just they show how those Hornets can turn on a dime, and I imagine even if I'm going backwards a bit, I want my guns pointing the right direction.
You don't forget you can also pitch over.
Mm-hmm. Inertia is a pain, but it can really work to your advantage.
I'm going to go ahead and get the video running here. And it's showing the modes. It's starting off with the IFCS engage, so this is like flying around a jet plane.
Collision. Collision.
Beautiful view. It's really pretty though.
Wonder how many voices they're gonna have to say collision.
Collision.
Hopefully just one.
Now this is the version where you kind of see the Hornet sliding into a drift because the guns are turning, but the momentum's still kind of carrying it a bit.
Just think, in 3 weeks we're going to be doing this.
I don't think nearly as well. I think that rock has my name on it.
So they say in this asteroid field, that will be more dangerous though. You go into the drift. On the
I
other
wonder
hand,
if all those. Sorry.
on the other hand, it is good for you fly behind an asteroid, and as you skip out the other side, you got your guns pointed behind you again.
Fly around an asteroid, behind it. I mean, you can't go through an asteroid.
You can. Once.
Memo will test this theory.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot more technically sound to have the IFF off. IFC off, whatever.
And he will try to not talk about himself in the third person anymore either.
Alrighty. So, I think I'll be drifting. That looks pretty cool. Folks, so you got a lot of news from the Wingman's Hangar we can catch up with as well. Scatter things, including one that was a little old, but I didn't want to drop it. We didn't get a chance to get to it earlier. A couple that were from way back, Wingman's Hangar 67, but we didn't discuss. They said that at the 14 million mark, a fourth landing zone was open for Earth. And as of so far, the three we know are New York, Moscow, and Shanghai. And the thing is, they've still been saying the exact location of the fourth has not yet been determined.
Berlin. It's got to be Berlin.
You think Berlin? It's plausible.
I've had a lot of folks. Berlin is one of their biggest diehard
London?
fans out there, and yet a lot of people in Germany sounds like are saying not Berlin. It's a big name, but there's some
Cologne?
other city that's more old or beautiful.
Cologne, perhaps? For the game convention? Well, wait,
Could be.
what about for Oktoberfest? Where's that held? Munich?
The entire state, dude.
Well, they
or
even hold
country.
it over at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival over here.
Disney 24/7. Epcot.
Yeah, there you go.
Euro Disneyland.
Oh gosh. So also folks ask, what happens if you leave a ship floating out in space? Rob said eventually
junk.
someone will drive off with it. He said they just can't have a number of empty ships just littering their game space.
Yep.
Alright. And moving closer to 68, they did something that was kind of the same thing. Your ship's hangars are safe. They can't be attacked.
But as soon as you pull out,
Mm-hmm.
just like Ender's Game, they'll be
calm
waiting
down
for you.
there.
And folks ask how you will ID players and ships in the universe, so you know who's attacking you or who you're attacking. And they did say you'll see a ship ID, but it will not be as easy to determine who the pilot is. It might depend on your scanner. And even though they didn't say it, I know in the past I think they talked about jamming software and such too. So I would not,
That'd be
I
interesting.
expect something like that.
Arleeya, what are your ship's names?
You want me to get them? I'll have them for the next show. I have Do you also want the characters that I'm going to have when I die?
I'm going to go through numbers first. I'm going to do like hexadecimal.
Yeah, I think you're going to start losing track of your characters.
Yeah.
Part ship number 1. Part ship number 2.
No, actually, Starfarer is called the Cloud Dancer.
Oh.
And the Idris is
Flying Cabbage?
no.
Oh.
It's named after an opera.
Oh.
Okay.
Dark Helmet.
Come on, Lone Star.
There you go, Lone Star.
There was another tidbit thrown out for some folks here. They asked about, will the Banu trade in Vanduul parts? Because it's been said Banu do trade with the Vanduul. And that was confirmed. So they said if your scythe is damaged, go ask the Banu for parts.
Because that's where you'll need to get parts, because it's an alien ship.
I can see some
Awesome.
folks want to keep that scythe. So it's like, want to put their starting hangar or wherever closest they can to a Banu merchant.
Expensive.
Players will have several ways to sell their stuff, whether it's spaceship dealerships, sell your old spaceship, or stores that sell crafted items. So that's pretty good. It's especially nice for folks like me and ESO that doesn't really have an auction house. We get by on guild stores. The dogfight module will have different local servers around the world, because someone asked about the ping and the matchmaking. So it still sounds like whoever you dogfight will be relatively local.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that does make
Until
sense.
2, right? Until they drop 2.
Maybe. I suppose it depends on how the first goes, because as we know, they have to figure out optimizing everything and get rid of the bugs and such. And I had to bring up this question because, again, it's like a lot of people, are concerned the PvE and the PvP camps. They were still asking about if they try to strictly do PvE, if they'll ever be free of it. Chris Roberts and them kind of again reiterated that the PvE PvP slider is a preference, not a rule. There will be plenty of content for both sides. They keep iterating that. But you get, if you get into a lawless areas, there's more chance you're going to run into a player pirate. They did say if PvP happens in lawful areas, that offending player is putting himself out as a target for, bounty hunters and the law everywhere. So
Open season.
And they did have a thing about there will be cover in a first-person shooter part of it. They said it'll take many forms. You can utilize a mechanic that will put your character behind cover and still have some mobility. And I thought the funny thing they said prone is viable even in 0G.
Huh. How do
Dolphin
you go
diving.
prone in 0G and stay prone? That'll
You
be
just do the
interesting.
Superman, dude.
I'll go prone after they shoot me.
Whoa.
In 0G? Mi quesimo. All right. I'm gonna jump ahead because I noticed something too in one of the Wingman's hangars here. I have another video. Apparently, somebody we know sent a fan gift out there.
And also, man, fan gifts, you guys are incredible. There's no words. Just take a look at this.
Hi from the UK. We're just obviously busily finishing off the dogfighting module, and we got actually a wonderful surprise here, sent by Arleeya.
Wow. You sent them a whole picnic, it looks like.
Yeah, two hampers. They have a lot of people, and I didn't know if there would be enough food for them.
That looks awesome. You're too generous.
The other two offices got cookies as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, and thanks for keeping those guys happy. We want them happy and making a good game for us.
It's amazing the amount of work that they do and put in, and now they have little boxes that they can hide stuff in.
That's always important, to have little boxes you can hide stuff in. Crucial to success.
You did give them your ID number on there, right? So that way you can get... Okay.
No, I just gave him my handle and everything else.
Okay.
Alrighty. And that reminds me, I've been like reading through that Jump Point compendium. I will be bringing it down to the guild get together in Pensacola, Florida, in mid-June.
I'll be there.
All right. Arleeya's got his too. Oh man, it's still in the package. You got to open it up.
Never been open, dude.
Well, I'll have it down there. It'll be in the bathroom reader in the beach house.
I don't know if I'd put that in the bathroom at the beach house if you want to take it back home with you.
Night Angel will be there too. That's awesome.
All right, so going to a little more Wingman's hangar because this next part, coming up on the economy, they were talking about it, but a few things. Stealth, again, they had to kind of explain that one too. There's no magic stealth. All it is trying to reduce your ship's heat and electronic signature. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, or you can always shut off the engine and shields.
Yep.
We all can imagine it's pretty risky if you had to power it back up in a hurry.
Reminds me about submarines.
They have said sometimes you could be transporting some explosive cargoes, but they also iterated that no, a ship would have to be pretty close to yours when yours blows up before they have to worry about it.
Boarding action.
So you can't make a flying bomb is what they're saying.
No. Doesn't mean I don't think somebody wouldn't try.
No.
And they have, for explorers, they again reiterated star systems are huge. The known areas are merely a small portion of space. There's a long ways to go to the map edges. So aside from discovering new jump points, you can re-navigate old jump points to shave time. Thought that was nice. And there will be procedurally generated encounters in space, such as derelicts. So who knows, you could find something where you've already passed before.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And I'm going to show another video, which I'm going to kind of talk over here. I thought this was interesting that they were trying to make a board game of the economy to go back and forth, match what's in the game and in the board game, and then try to kind of balance out the game's economy that way.
Was Monopoly? My favorite.
The 20 systems.
Gosh. 20 systems, a bunch of, I don't know what all materials are in the game right now, but they're kind of, they kind of show you the rockets and all that. And the dice. Of course, the dice and the pen and paper stuff had to be there. So I thought that was interesting, an interesting way of kind of working out and building the economy in a video game.
Well, Ladyman, the gentleman in the red shirt, he's a mathematician, so he's helping them with the economics and everything. And this is a very smart way of doing it.
Yep.
And they did reiterate that its board game has to accurately reflect what is inside the computer and vice versa, and hopefully help them find the balance in it.
Now, do you think that they're going to eventually publish this game,
Yeah.
the board game?
Yep.
I thought that too, and I would like to see something like that developed.
We can play that next year at the next get together.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
bacon.
Alright.
More bacon.
That does sound like something, yep, to get down and do that as a guild. Alright. And folks, even in our chat here, again, thank you folks that are joining us on the live chat. We do got a few more things. We will be wrapping up pretty soon here. But thanks for joining us. We are again running a charity event with the Rise Up Gaming. Someone was asking about that. And Operation Supply Drop. And just one of the things I love about this organization. We get involved in that stuff.
We surely do.
Alright. A quick bit of news here so we can wrap it up. These are from 10 from the chairman. They already said there's been a lot of collisions in the dogfight testing because the ships are deceptively fast. And they're affected by physics, so the damage is still being tweaked. I can imagine.
Memo, are you already in there?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's a part of my combat style. That's not really something I look as a drawback, that there's a lot of collisions with damage.
And let's see. Oh, they did say that when buying ships, you can trade in your old one. He did say, though, you know, ships are very role specific, so you probably still want the variety.
I agree. I have a variety. Everybody has a variety. Arleeya has a little bit more variety than anyone else we know.
It's like Baskin Robbins, dude.
41 ships, I think, when I asked him today. 41 ships, folks.
Yeah.
And
Memo
growing.
has 2. And growing. You hear that,
Growing.
folks at Star Citizen? If you release some more ships, Arleeya will buy them.
Well, think of it this way. A few of those ships are going to go into the Grievance hangar.
Awesome.
That works.
Nice, thanks.
Thanks.
And they did mention that you can buy used ships, so that are not up to necessarily maybe the equipment or specs that you see on the stats page. You can get used ships from the dealerships. Of course, we already discussed you can name the ships. It won't be a feature in the dogfighting one, though. Oh, someone asking, what is your next ship, Arleeya?
I'm going to go after the Smuggler, the info ship, pretty much any of the new ships that they're going to come out with.
Whatever comes out and's for sale, that's his next ship. I'm
Mhm.
telling you.
At
When
least
it
2
comes
each.
available, yeah, 2 each.
Alright.
like the
Someone
arcade.
asking if there's a limit of ships per account. No, there is a limit of 10 that will show up in the hangar, but there is a way, which I don't have on offhand, but there is a way that you can go in, tweak that setting, so you can make however many appear.
System config, max ships equals 999.
Alright.
And it still doesn't display everything you have, correct, Arleeya?
Correct, because most of those ships that I have are not yet built.
The models for them are not yet out.
Going down to the next one. They did say missions in Star Citizen and the Persistent Universe can include either or both space combat and first-person shooter elements. Characters will have aging effects on them, aside from, as we've already discussed, mechanical limbs, maybe from when you didn't eject in time and that kind of stuff. So, aging effects.
Interesting mechanic.
Yep.
Really, yeah. That's awesome.
Somebody asked about the model spaceship that comes with certain Kickstarter-backed, ones of the game. And Chris Roberts said all the models that were sold are constellations. So right now, that's all they have.
Awesome.
He
I have
did
a
say.
constellation.
Oh, there you go. And someone asked about building other models. He said, well, right now the game is the priority, not models. And he did say that command and control on a big ship is almost a game in itself. And they are going to reveal some more detailed information on that soon.
I can't wait to see that. It sounds awesome.
Yeah. The only other thing I had, which I'll just go over briefly, so kind of right at the end, is they introduced a system called Pyro, and when I read this, it sounds like PvP must be the standard in this. It's a pirate station, ruin station, and they talked about gun combat on the station being rather common. And so I can tell you, I can imagine a lot of place for like PvP and hanging out with the pirates. That sounds like the place to go.
Especially since they have no questions medical facilities.
Yes.
Wish I had those here. Jeez.
All right. Again, folks, thank you for watching Star Citizen Report. Thank you guys for watching Grievance Twitch channel. You can always look us up at grievancegaming.org. Check us out. We're a multi-gaming community. Any other last thoughts, folks, before sign off, going into dogfighting?
Thanks for
See you in the
tuning in,
verse.
folks. You'll be seeing streams from us on the dogfighting module, so look for those.
I know how to use it now. Yay!
Awesome.
Thanks for watching.
Alrighty.
Thanks.
And next show on the 31st, if we aren't too busy being in the dogfighting module and we forget to broadcast, that might happen. See you.